Well, hello and welcome to a new video. Today we are gonna play yet another game of Guess the Eyeshadow Palette because it has been a while. Because it's been so long since our last game of Guess the Eyeshadow Palette, I'm going to remind you the rules. I used one specific eyeshadow palette on my eyes today. I'm first going to show you the shades from said palette that I have used. And then I'm going to show you the rest of the shades that are not on my eyes today. The goal is for you to guess what eyeshadow palette that is. Okay, so here it is. These are all the shades that I have on my eyes today. Okay, so I first went in with this shade, which is practically the same shade as my skin color, so I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see it that well, but I did apply it all over my lids just as a first base of color. I then applied this shade. I created the shape of the eye look that I wanted, and then I also went in the outside corner here. I first blended that shade on its own, and then I blended it using this pink here just to make sure there wasn't any harsh lines or patches inside that color. This shade I put in the outer corner and I brought it a bit more into my eye, and then I used this shade on the center of the lid to kind of bring a bit more light to that one. I then used this kind of gold in the inner corner, and I did bring it into my eye a little bit as well. I put this one really in the inner corner right there, and this is the shade that I used for the lower lash line. I also added a bit of the gold in here. These are the 6 remaining shades of the eyeshadow palettes. So there you have it in its entirety. So there are 14 shades in this palette, 7 metallic shades and 7 mattes, although there's a couple of the mattes that have a bit of satin sheen to it, but basically, yes, it's equally distributed between very shimmery metallic shades and more matte satin shades. And the palette I'm wearing on my eyes today is the Norvina palette. So the Norvina palette from ABH is by no means a new palette. It's been on the market for a while, but it's newer to me. I purchased it a few months ago on the Sephora France website because it was on sale. It was, I believe, 30% off. So it was kind of the perfect occasion for me to grab this. My reasoning for buying it was that I do enjoy the ABH formula very well. I know it's not for everyone. It's a bit powdery at times. Some of the metallic shades can be chunky and difficult to work with, but I do enjoy that formula, generally speaking. I do have a bunch of the ABH palettes, as you can see behind me. I wish I could collect them all at one point, but really the color story spoke to me as well. I think it's pretty. Now, I know that when it was released, it wasn't that welcomed because of the packaging being so purple and Norvina's color being purple, and at the end of the day, the inside of the palette, not so purple. So indeed, if you're looking for a very purpley eyeshadow palette, I wouldn't advise you to get this one, even though the package might suggest otherwise. Not only is there very few shades that are actually purple, I would add that the ones that are not the best quality in my opinion. I used these 2 shades on my eyes today. Now that one is very chunky and it's not even that purple when you do apply it. It's not the most beautiful metallic shimmer shades. And this one, again, in the pan, it looks beautiful. Like, see? It really is very pretty, but it's a lot softer than I wish it would be. It's difficult to build, and at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's really seen that much on the eyes. To me, the stars of the show and this palette are these metallics, so the more golden ones, and the kind of rose gold ones. So this is the shade Rose Gold, and this is the shade Dazzling, and they're just so pretty. Also the shade Volatile and Incense, they're just very pretty, buttery, very deep and rich. They're beautiful shades. So it is a very good, beautiful eyeshadow palette, but because my favorite and in my opinion the best quality shades in here are these, it just makes it a very neutral palette at the end of the day, which when you look at it that way, you don't think neutral everyday looks, but at the end of the day, that's why I like reaching for this. It's because you can create a beautiful neutral look. You can go a bit more cool tone, a bit more warm tone, and add a bit of the sparkle, and that's it. There you go. But the pinks and the purples and this like periwinkle kind of shade, yeah, not my favorite of the bunch. And that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel because it's free, so why wouldn't you? And I will see you guys next time. Bye.